Come on. Wait, why is there plasticky stuff running around in here? Oh, that was just the disc. Okay, we're good. Oh my god, an online pass. I feel so special. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Spectre Bull, and I hate it when I'm right. I would have made this last night, but I got swamped in other things, and before I knew it, it was super late, and sleep isn't exactly a thing in your mid-20s. It's just not. Anyways, I come to you today with the news of E3 being dead. That's right, it's dead. It's dead. Yep, here it is, ladies and germs. E3 2022. See you next year. It's 3 years in a row running. Okay, here it is from Video Games Chronicle. E3's in-person event has been canceled for the 3rd year in a row. In a statement, E3's organizer said that it had made the decision due to ongoing health risks surrounding COVID-19 and its potential impact on the safety of exhibitors and attendees. You probably look at this and say, well, that about does it. E3 is dead. Well, guess what? We've been saying that for nearly 3 years now. We started the pandemic in late February, early March of 2020, correct? And when E3 had to be canceled that year, we were like, oh no, is this it? Is this finally it? Guess what? They said, hey, we'll see you 2021. And then a whole bunch of other crap went down that resulted in that also getting canceled more or less. When I say canceled, by the way, I'm talking about the in-person events. So as for the digital stuff, I don't really consider that to be the event. I'll get to that in a second. But now here we are, 2022. For the 3rd time in a row, E3 has been canceled. Again. And now we have all the same people who have been saying for the last 2 years that E3 is dead. I hate to tell you this, but no, it's not. E3 as we knew it before the pandemic, yes, that is dead. But as for E3 as a whole, it's not really dead. Alright? So, here's where it gets a little bit conflicting, at least to me. So, E3 as we know it, the in-person press conferences, the concert of trailers, as I like to call it. Yeah, that's gonna be gone for a while. But it's still kind of here. So what E3 seems to try to be riding on is this reputation of being that time of year where it's video game Christmas, essentially, where it's everybody gets to come together, they have an excuse to come together and talk about what they're doing for 2022, 2023, you know, over the next few years. There's just one problem, though, that E3 seems to have forgotten since the pandemic even happened. It's that no one seems to care anymore. I'm not even just saying that as a stance of nobody watches E3. No, plenty of people watch E3. It's just that we're now in an era where all of these companies think that they can have their own little digital press conferences. They can. I'm just saying that it's going to be costly and a lot of them are going to be super underwhelming. But we now live in a time where Nintendo Directs are a thing, people still crowd around PlayStation State of Play, even if those shows are kind of And then Xbox has their weekly stuff too, of like, what's new on the Xbox store every single week. I watch those all the time. I love them. They're very well put together, I think. But anyways. And then you have, like, the tier below those three, You know, those three, they have a reason to have events like that. They are platform holders. They have not just their own games. They got games coming from AAA publishers, AA, indie. They got more hands. They got more balls to juggle. But then you get into the lower tier of publishers and their digital conferences. You got Square Enix, who tried doing one a couple of times. It didn't work out too well. Then you got Ubisoft with Ubisoft Forward, which I have never heard a positive thing about those, ever. And then you have EA Play, right? EA Play, I don't know about you guys, I don't really watch EA Play. Like, every year that I've skipped EA's conference around E3, their whole Let's Play event or whatever, I see the reactions and I see the headlines and I just immediately think, eesh. Glad I didn't waste my time on that. So this is the problem, right? Is that E3 is not necessarily dead. But it kind of is. It's not dead in the sense of branding. At least not yet. E3 is still very much a thing. It's still very much a thing that's talked about. I mean, why else am I making a video of this and calling it E3 is dead, or is it? Or whatever else I end up putting in the title, I don't know. E3, as far as the past 20-something years since they've been doing this, yeah, it's kind of dead. Especially since you now have all these publishers who think they can do their own digital events and drum up their own hype, when that's really not the case, right? Because the thing that made E3 special was having these platform holders coming out and not only announcing stuff from themselves, but announcing stuff that might be exclusive to them that are coming from third-party studios. We're talking about the crazy time where it was stuff like, hey, Mario and Rabbids in an RTS game? It's happening! Hey, you know how cool Smash Brothers is? Well, guess what? We're doing one with PlayStation characters. One that's a personal favorite of mine and will always be a personal favorite is seeing Sweet Tooth coming out on that stage in a whole life-size Sweet Tooth ice cream truck with David Jaffe in tow. And they're saying Twisted Metal is coming back. That was a hype moment, and that trailer, I still get chills every time I watch it. Also, Kirby made of yarn? It's happening! But see, it's stuff like that. It's those moments of tension where someone's out on the stage and there's something going on maybe in the background or something subtle's been said, and everyone's like, no way, is this really happening? Oh my god, this is really happening. The last hype moment I had for E3 as we knew it was back in, I think, 2016 when PlayStation held their conference and Sean Layden, he comes waddling on stage and there's a weird silhouette going on behind him. Looks a lot like a certain marsupial that I had been waiting for a return for nearly 20 years at this point. And it happened. It was by far my favorite E3 moment of all time. And right below that is the Twisted Metal one, but you get my point. There's a certain energy and a certain feel for these shows. Yeah, there were a ton of shows that weren't exactly the greatest. Those are treasures of their own, but in terrible ways. But you get what I'm saying. There's something different about having these in-person events, and whether or not we get to see all of the games that are on that show floor. Now it's just kind of reels of trailers, and it's a little bit sad. And I know that there are people out there who try to keep the feel alive. You know, I've done E3 streams before, and I've gotten hyped with people who were following me then, and you see that with a lot of streamers these days. Let's watch E3. Let's watch the conference live. Let's react to it. That's great. There's something special about that in its own way, but compared to seeing a massive audience live get super hyped up about a certain game, like a new Crash Bandicoot game or a new Doom. Like Doom, whenever it was shown at E3, those were like, holy shit moments. Like, you could tell that audience was amped for Doom. And then you just see, oh, PogChamp doesn't hit the same way. I don't know. Maybe I'm a purist. Maybe I'm just a cranky old geriatric man. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Whether E3's dead or not, that's entirely up to you. To me, E3 is absolutely dead. It's technically not, but it is dead, and it has been for a long time. Be prepared, though, for the same predictable conversations for the next handful of months of, is this the end of E3? Is this the end of E3 as we know it? Oh no. Guys, E3's been gone. It left. It took a plane ticket 3 years ago, and it bolted. You guys are just now waking up and finding out. So, let me know what you think about E3 down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. It does help me out a great deal in finding new people so that we can have these conversations. And until then, my name is Spectre Bull, or Ty, or Loser, or Stupid Dummy Tomato Face Head, whichever you prefer. I wish you the best, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.